Jason Carter was an ordinary pilot from Earth. He flew his small exploration ship through space, searching for new worlds and new chances. His mission was simple: explore, gather data, and return home. But on this day, everything changed. Stars outside his window looked peaceful. Suddenly, his ship's alarm beeped loudly. A faint distress signal was coming from a nearby planet named Zalera. It was an unknown place, far from Earth's usual routes. Jason knew this could be important. He changed course immediately. As his ship entered Zalara's orbit, Jason saw something strange. The planet was beautiful, with blue skies and tall, green forests. But near the surface, a small ship was in trouble. Smoke and fire came from it. Jason's heart raced. Without thinking twice, Jason put on his spacesuit and prepared his small rescue pod. He flew down toward the burning ship. Inside, he could hear cries for help. Jason's training kicked in. He carefully landed the pod near the damaged ship. He opened the hatch and saw a young woman inside. She was hurt, but alive. Her clothes were strange, like nothing he had seen before. Jason quickly helped her out of the ship. The woman was weak, but she looked at him with grateful eyes. "I'm Arya," she said softly. "Thank you." Jason smiled. "I'm Jason, don't worry. You're safe now." Jason brought Arya back to his ship. He checked her injuries. She had cuts and bruises, but nothing life-threatening. As they flew back to orbit, Arya told Jason what had happened. She was a princess on Zalera, the daughter of King Veron. Planet was peaceful, but some groups wanted to take control. It attacked her ship to stop her from returning home. Jason listened carefully. "I need to get you back to your people safely." The journey back was tense. Jason used every skill he had to avoid more enemies. He could feel the weight of the mission on his shoulders. This was no longer just a simple exploration. When they reached the palace orbit station, Jason contacted the royal guards. They came quickly to take Arya home. The princess thanked Jason again before disappearing behind the palace doors. Stood alone, looking at the stars. Thought, "This rescue is bigger than I thought." The next day, Jason was invited to meet King Veron. The king was tall and strong, with serious eyes. He looked at Jason with respect, but also with caution. "You saved my daughter," King Veron said. "For that, you have my thanks. But your actions have consequences." Jason was confused. "I just wanted to help." The king nodded. On Zalera, when someone saves a member of the royal family, a bond is formed. It is an old custom. It means our worlds are linked through trust and respect. Jason did not know what to say. This was new to him. "What kind of bond?" "A bond of family and alliance," the king explained. "It means you and the princess are connected. You must learn our ways, and you must stand with us." Jason thought hard. He wanted to refuse, but he could see the importance in the king's eyes. "I will do what I can." King Veron smiled slightly. "Good, because there are many eyes watching now. Some want to stop this bond." Jason was not sure what the future would hold, but he knew one thing for sure. His life had changed. Forever. Jason sat quietly in the grand hall of Zalara's palace. The walls were tall and smooth, shining softly under the glowing lights. The air was filled with a strange mix of calm and tension. Round him, royal guards moved silently, keeping watch. Jason's heart beat fast, but he stayed calm. Today he would meet King Veron again and learn what this bond really meant. The door opened, and King Veron entered. He was a tall man with strong shoulders and a face that showed both kindness and power. His eyes, sharp and deep, looked straight at Jason. "Jason Carter," the king said, his voice firm. "You have done a great thing saving my daughter. Now, you must understand our tradition." Jason nodded. "I want to understand, Your Majesty." King Veron took a seat on a high chair. In Zalara, saving a royal is not just an act of kindness. It is a bond that links to lives, yours and my daughter's. This bond is called the Unity Pact. It means more than friendship. It is an ancient promise of protection, respect, and alliance. Jason felt a mix of surprise and confusion. A pact, like a contract? The king smiled faintly. More than a contract, it is a sacred tie. It means your worlds will work together, and you will stand by each other in times of peace and war. Jason looked down. I don't know if you're... I'm ready for this. King Varen leaned forward. You will have to be. The galaxy is not safe. Our enemies watch us. They will try to break this bond. Jason swallowed hard. He thought about the mercenaries who attacked Arya's ship. Who are these enemies? The Relaxians, the king answered. A powerful empire that wants to control Zalara's resources. And power. They will stop at nothing. Jason's mind raced. He had only wanted to be an explorer. Now he was part of a galactic conflict. Suddenly, Princess Arya entered the hall. She was calm and graceful, but her eyes showed strength. She smiled softly at Jason. Father has told you about the Unity Pact, she asked. Jason nodded. Yes, Princess. Arya walked closer. It is not easy, but it is important. Our peoples need hope. This bond can give them that. Jason looked at her and saw not just a princess, but a strong woman ready to fight for her people. The king stood. Tomorrow, the formal ceremony will begin. You must prepare, Jason. You will learn our customs, our laws, and our ways. Jason felt the weight of the moment. He was no longer just a pilot. He was now tied to a princess, a kingdom, and a war. That night, Jason walked through the palace gardens with Arya. The stars above shone bright, and the soft sound of water flowed. Nearby, Jason, Arya said quietly, I know this is hard, but I believe in you. You've saved my life, and now we must save my people. Jason smiled. I will do my best, Arya. I want to learn. I want to help. Arya looked hopeful. Good. Tomorrow, your journey begins. The next day, Jason woke early. He met the palace elders, who taught him the history of Zalara and the meaning of the Unity Pact. They showed him the sacred symbols, the rituals, and the responsibilities that came with the bond. Jason practiced speaking the Zelaran language, learning their values of honor, courage, and loyalty. The palace filled with people. Journalists, soldiers, and nobles came to witness the ceremony. Jason felt nervous but determined in the main hall, decorated with golden banners and flowers. Jason stood beside Arya. King Varen raised his hands and spoke loudly. Calling the people to witness the Unity Pact, Jason placed his hand on Arya's. A bright light glowed softly between them, a sign of the bond forming. The crowd cheered. But Jason saw some faces filled with fear and anger. The enemies of the Alliance were watching. After the ceremony, King Varen pulled Jason aside. Remember, this bond is not just for show. You will face many challenges. But together, you can be strong. Jason nodded. I understand, Your Majesty. As the ceremony ended, Jason felt a new sense of purpose. He was ready to face whatever came next for Arya, for Zalara, and for Earth. The morning sun shone over Zalara's palace, casting long shadows on the grand halls. Jason Carter woke with a mix of excitement and worry. Today was the start of his trials to prove his worthiness to the Zelaran people and to truly honor the Unity Pact with Princess Arya. After the ceremony, King Varen had explained that Jason must learn not only the customs, but also show that he could be trusted. The trials were both physical and mental. They tested courage, intelligence, and loyalty, the values Zalara held above all. Jason met Arya in the palace courtyard. She wore a simple blue robe, her eyes bright and serious. Are you ready? She asked. Jason smiled. I think so, but I'm nervous. Arya laughed softly. Don't worry. I will be with you. Their first trial was the test of courage. They had to face the fire maze, a long corridor filled with dangerous flames and moving walls. Many Zelaran warriors had failed this test in the past. The maze was designed to challenge fear and quick thinking. Jason felt the heat on his face as they entered. The flames danced dangerously close, and the walls shifted without warning. He remembered his training on Earth, staying calm and observing. Before moving, Arya moved confidently, her steps sure and steady. Jason followed her lead, watching the patterns of the walls and flames. He held Arya's hand for a moment, finding strength in her presence. At one sharp turn, a wall closed quickly behind them. Jason barely jumped out of the way. "Aye!" He felt his heart pounding but kept moving forward. Finally, after what felt like hours, they reached the exit. Both were tired and covered in sweat, but they had passed. "Good," Arya said, smiling. "You did well." The second trial was the trial of wisdom. Jason and Arya entered a large hall filled with puzzles and riddles. They had to solve each puzzle to open the door to the next room. The puzzles tested their knowledge, logic, and teamwork. Jason admired Arya's sharp mind. She quickly understood the clues, while Jason used his knowledge from Earth to help. Together they opened the final door, winning the trial. Afterward, they rested in a quiet garden. Jason asked, "How did you learn so much?" Arya smiled. "My father taught me, and the palace has many books." Jason nodded. "I want to learn more about your people, your world." Arya looked at him warmly. "And I want to know about Earth." The third trial was the trial of loyalty. Jason and Arya had to face a group of Zelaron nobles who did not trust the Unity Pact. These nobles wanted to test Jason's commitment. In a council room, the nobles asked Jason hard questions. They challenged his motives and loyalty. Jason answered, honestly, showing respect for Zelera and its people. One noble spoke harshly. "Why should we trust a human? Your world is far and different." Jason replied calmly, "Because I saved the princess's life, because I want peace between our worlds, because I believe in honor." The nobles studied him quietly. After a long pause, King Varan entered. "The room I trust him," the king said firmly. "I expect you to do the same." Jason felt relief but knew the real challenges were still ahead. As days passed, Jason and Arya spent more time together. They trained, studied, and shared stories. Jason learned about Zelara's history, planet rich in culture, but always under threat from enemies. Arya shared stories about her dreams to bring peace and prosperity. Jason told her about Earth's struggles and hopes. One evening, they walked on a balcony overlooking the city lights. Suddenly, alarms sounded. The palace went into lockdown. Jason and Arya rushed to the command center. A scout reported enemy ships approaching. Zelara's orbit, the Relaxians were coming. Jason looked at Arya. "This is why the bond matters." Arya nodded. "We must prepare." King Varen called a war council. Leaders from all over Zelera gathered to plan defense. Jason offered ideas from Earth's military strategies, surprising many. "You think like a soldier," the king said with respect. Jason answered, "I want to protect your people and Arya." In the following days, Jason and Arya worked tirelessly to prepare Zelara for the attack. They trained soldiers, set up defenses, and strengthened alliances. Their bond grew stronger, built on trust, respect, and shared purpose. But outside the palace walls, danger waited. Enemies who opposed the Unity Pact began plotting. They feared the new alliance could change the balance of power. Jason understood that this was only the beginning. The trials had tested his courage, wisdom, and loyalty, but now he would face the hardest trial of all, war. The sky above Zelera was dark, filled with the deep silence before the storm. The stars blinked faintly as the planet prepared for a battle that could decide its future. Jason Carter stood on the palace balcony, watching the horizon where enemy ships slowly appeared, silent, dangerous, and ready. Beside him, Princess Arya stood tall and calm. Though the weight of her people's safety pressed on her shoulders, her eyes shone with determination. "Jason," she said quietly, "this is the moment we've prepared for." Jason nodded, gripping his hands together. "We can't let them win. Not now. Not ever." The King's War Council had met many times in the past week. Strategies were planned, defenses set. But the truth was clear. The Relaxians were strong, and their numbers were many. Zelara's future depended on how well the new alliance could hold. Inside the command center, Soldiers and officers worked quickly. Jason was given a key role, coordinating Earth and Zelleran forces. His knowledge of Earth technology and tactics was crucial. "Jason, the enemy fleet is advancing fast," the lead officer said. "Shields will only hold for so long." Jason looked at the holographic map showing the incoming ships. "We need to split our forces. Some must defend the city. Others will take the fight to their ships." Princess Arya stepped forward. "We'll lead the ground forces. Jason, you take command of the space fleet." Jason's eyes widened in surprise. "Are you sure?" Arya smiled. "I trust you to protect us in space. Together, we will win." The day of the battle arrived. The sky burned with the glow of engines and weapons. Jason sat in the command chair of the Earth Zelleran flagship. Round him, the crew worked with focus and skill. "Shields are holding at 70%, the communications officer reported. Jason's hands moved quickly over the controls. "Fire the ion cannons. Target their lead ship." The enemy fleet rocked as the cannons hit their mark. But the Relaxians fought back fiercely. Below on the planet, Arya led her soldiers bravely. Her voice was strong, guiding them through the chaos. She moved among them like a beacon, inspiring courage. Jason's mind was split between the battle in space and Arya's fight on the ground. Their bond was more than the unity pact now. It was a promise to protect each other and their people. Suddenly, a warning flashed on the screen. A group of Relaxian fighters was sneaking behind their fleet, aiming to attack the palace directly. "Jason," called the palace guards. "If incoming enemies headed your way, prepare for defense." Arya heard the message and moved quickly. "Soldiers, protect the palace. We cannot lose this place." The fight was fierce. The palace walls shook as laser fire lit the sky. But Arya's leadership kept the defenders strong. Meanwhile, Jason took a risky move. He led a small squadron of fighters to intercept the enemy flanking force. The battle was close, fast, and dangerous. Jason's pilot skills were tested to the limit. He dodged blasts and returned fire with precision. His Earth training made the difference. Slowly, they pushed the enemy back. Back on the ground, Arya fought side by side with her soldiers. She saved one of her commanders from a blast and helped others rally. Despite the danger, her courage never faltered. As the battle raged, Jason's fleet began gaining ground. His strategy and Earth tactics worked well with Zelleran technology. The enemy was pushed back, their ships damaged and retreating. The skies cleared. The palace still stood. King Varen entered the command center, his face proud. "You have done well, Jason. Together, you and Arya have saved Zellara." Jason felt a rush of relief and pride. "We couldn't have done it without her, without all of you." Arya appeared on the screen, smiling tiredly. "This victory belongs to everyone." The people of Zellara celebrated their heroes. Jason was no longer just an Earth pilot. He was a symbol of hope and unity. In the quiet after the battle, Jason and Arya met again on the palace balcony. The stars shone brighter now, as if welcoming their new alliance. "Jason," Arya said softly, "this bond is more than tradition. It is our strength." Jason took her hand. "Together we can face anything." They stood side by side, ready for the future, but far away, hidden in the shadows, enemies still watched. The war was not over. The real fight for peace had only just begun. The morning sun rose slowly over the planet Zellara. The sky was clear and bright, a sharp contrast to the battles and fears of the past days. The war with the Relaxians had ended, but its marks were visible everywhere. Broken ships in the harbor, burned fields outside the city, and tired faces in the streets. Jason Carter stood on the palace balcony, watching the people below. The crowds gathered to celebrate, but Jason's mind was on the future. The bond he shared with Princess Arya was no longer just a ceremony. It was a living promise, a promise of peace, strength, and hope for two worlds. Princess Arya joined him, her smile soft but full of determination. "The war is over, but our work is just beginning," she said. Jason nodded. "We have a chance to build something new, true alliance between Earth and Zellara." King Varen appeared behind them, his face proud and calm. "You have both," proven yourselves worthy. This bond is now more than tradition. It is a new dawn for our people." The king turned to the crowd below and raised his voice. "People of Zalara, today we stand united with Earth. Our futures are joined, and together we will face whatever challenges come." Cheers rose up, strong and loud. The people were ready to believe in the future, in the promise of unity. In the days that followed, Jason and Arya worked side by side to rebuild Zalara. The planet's leaders and Earth's envoys began talks to share technology, knowledge, and culture. Jason helped organize teams to repair ships and restore the cities. Arya inspired her people to come together, to heal old wounds and move forward. Bond became an example. Young Zellarans and Earthlings started programs to learn each other's languages and traditions. Trade routes opened, and new friendships formed. One afternoon, Jason and Arya visited a school where children from both worlds learned side by side. Jason watched as a young Zellaron girl helped a boy from Earth understand a puzzle. "This is what I dreamed of," Arya said quietly. "Peace that grows from trust." Jason smiled. And it all started with a simple act, saving a life. But the peace was fragile. Jason knew the Relaxians had not disappeared. They would watch and wait, looking for weakness. The alliance needed to be strong and ready. One evening, as the sun set in colors of orange and pink, Jason and Arya stood once more on the balcony. "Do you think we can keep this peace?" Jason asked. Arya looked at the stars, then back to him. "We must. For our people, for the future." Jason took her hand. Together, the stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if to bless their promise. The story of a human pilot who saved a princess had become the story of two worlds united. Jason and Arya's bond was no longer just tradition. It was hope. And with hope, they would face the new dawn.